Here we are, buddy. I mean, we've been friends for 26 years, and we finally get to talk about this stuff on camera.
Finally.
So the subject is science fiction.
Yes, and what is great is science fiction at its best questions, challenges our belief, and what are we, what makes us human, where do we fit in society.
Yeah. So why do we need monsters? Psychologically, why do we pay good money to go to a monster movie?
Well, because the only thing that can confirm the existence of angels are demons.
Okay, but that's a religious interpretation.
It is, but it's a spiritual one. It's like the carcass of a creature confirms the existence of a living specimen. In the same way, I think monsters confirm the otherness and therefore open our mind to a much more vast universe.
Yeah, we see this a lot in science fiction stories that deal with aliens that are at first off-putting and terrifying, and then we see something inside them. We see something that's very human inside them. We learn to understand them or sympathize with them and so on.
Of course. I mean, look, the moment you understand that there was never the other, that it was always us, is the moment that you can understand what it is to be human.
Right.
I mean, I think the otherness used to provoke horror will always separate you from the true essence of humanity.
Yeah.
I think that black and white, to me, as a form of fabulation, is great in horror, in certain types of horror.
Right.
But the fabulation I'm interested in is the one in the gray area.
Yeah, sure, of course.
That's the one that attracts me.
Right.
The two things that will tell you that the universe is much more vast than your imagination need to exist above nature. I'm 53 and I've seen in 53 years one UFO, but I saw it. I saw it. So there is no doubt in my mind that there's something much more vast, much more complex, much more interesting than the front page.
But you can't just drop that. You now have to tell the UFO story.
All right. When I was about 15 or 16, a friend and I, we didn't consume it, but we bought a six-pack. We didn't consume it.
Sure. No, this is where the story falls apart. You know that.
We went to a highway, and we said, we're going to sit on the highway, drink the beer, watch the stars, and talk. And we were on the way on the highway, and we saw a light in the horizon that was moving non-linearly. It was going, really fast, and up and all across the horizon. We were the only car in the freeway. And we stopped the car, and we came out of the car, and I said, honk, and flash your highlights. And my friend honked and flashed the highlights, and it went from being there to being like 500 meters away from us, like in less than a second. And it was badly designed. If I was making this up, I would describe the UFO as something inventive, but it was a flying saucer.
Fire the designer.
A flying saucer with lights that went around like this.
Man.
I'm serious. I'm so sorry, Jim. And
you realize how disappointing that is?
It's very disappointing. And I cannot describe the fear I felt. I've never felt anything like it. I didn't feel, I felt awe maybe for a second, and then I felt a fear that was like I was a dog in front of a tank.
Yeah.
And we climbed in the car and screaming, we said, push the pedal, like all the way. And I looked back and the UFO was following us. And I looked back again and it was gone. And that was it.
They were laughing.
They were laughing.
The guys up there in the UFO, they'd already opened their beers. They were laughing. You see, we scared
the two fat kids.
Scared that.